Sir Mahesh sir will start, sir.
Yeah.
Well, sir, good evening, sir. For Samskruti School of Engineering. So first of all, I would like to say a very good evening to all participants and our honorable speaker, Mr. Mahesh Kumar, the CEO of Orbit Shifter. First, this program will start with prayer song by CSC student Shanmukha Priya. Then we'll start the session. Okay. Shanmukha Priya, we'll start the song, ma.
Do we need to stand up or something?
Sir, so first we need to pray that prayer song, sir.
No, I'm
Prayer
saying.
song, sir.
Priya, start, ma.
Prayer song, sir.
Prayer
while,
song.
while praying, we need to stand or what?
No need, sir. No need. No need.
Shanmukha Priya, we'll start the song. Okay. Start, ma.
All the people mute the mic.
Vasistahamadivandivandipa Mahaganapatim Mahadevasutam Guru Guhavinutam Mahadevasutam Guru Guhavinutam Marakoti Prakasham Shantam Marakoti Prakasham Shantam Mahakavinatakavipriyam Mahakavinatakavipriyam Moshikavahanamodakapriyam Mahakavinatakavipriyam Moshikavahanamodakapriyam Mahaganapatim Mahaganapatim Manasa Smarami Vasishtavamadevanivandita Mahaganapatim. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Shanmukha Priya. So then I will introduce our today's program resource person and speaker. Mr. Mahesh Kumar CV is the co-founder and chief artificial AI officer at Orbit Shifters. He has been in the analytics space over a decade and has seen the evolution of big data and data science. He has one of the very few futuristic thinkers in this space and has helped many organizations in defining the vision for their product monetization programs. Prior to founding Orbit Shifters, he worked with Dalmia Bharat Group, IBM, Computer Science Corporation, Mindtree, and rolled organizations in analytics and big data space. But he has more credentials, such as mentor of Change at Atal Innovation Vision. Mahesh is the recipient of Best COO by EvolveX at IIT Hyderabad 2019, featured in SAP TV and featured several AI interviews in Enadu Television, mentor in AIM Membership Circle, and initiative by Analytics India magazine, and national thought leader in Confederation of India Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise, that is CIMSE, and trained more than 15,000 plus resources in SAP analytics, big data and artificial intelligence. So this is only few summary about our resource person and speaker. Next, I would like to introduce our principal sir. Dr. Sendil Kumar Garu is the principal of Samskruti School of Engineering. He enthusiastically encourages and support all innovative towards excellence in engineering education. He wholeheartedly promotes research and skill enhancement among his students. He completed BE in Electronics Engineering, Madras University, and ME in Powered Systems in Bharatdas University, Trichy. He holds a PhD in EEE from IIT Roorkee. He had been postdoctoral research fellow in the Center of Energy and Power, Trivandrum University, South Africa, and a senior postdoctoral fellow at Ostrava University. He had published nearby 100 research papers and etc. This is only summary about our principal sir. Now, principal sir will give the brief address about this occasion.
Thank you, Prasad Reddy.
Thank you.
Very good morning to all. Sorry, very good evening to all of you. I welcome on behalf of Sanskriti School of Engineering. I on behalf of Mr. Magesh, CEO of Orbit Shifters, Hyderabad. Welcome you, sir. I'll also welcome our external participants and internal participants from various engineering colleges. Also, this webinar is mainly focused on how the AI, artificial intelligence, it's contributed in industries, also in academia. What are the, because after COVID, what is that, so now COVID situation, job and then economies go down. So what is the future opportunity? Otherwise, how to say that what subject we have to make in more interest, there is a possibility for chances for the opportunities. That is the purpose we make that this type of webinars. Last 2 sections already we conducted in AI, data science from what is that in software industries. So this is the third AI in artificial intelligence career opportunities. So some of the things they given that some detailed manner in this last 2 webinars. Also Orbit Shifters, I saw that he is more before all the introduction is given by Prasad Reddy. But I saw personally his career is purely based on innovations. He is very high innovation projects he done. Also, he is inspiration to the students because 1 month we discussed this, Mr. Magesh. He is given brief about the AI, how it's going on, all the things, what is that main aim, how make the students will be motivate, and then they will be concentrate in AI. So we and chairman is liking that. After that, we fix that resource person. He will be giving that more in depth in AI. Also, it's possible how this AI will be penetrated in industries. What are the roles plays in industries? What is the career by means of if you are learn AI? What are the career opportunities? Because nowadays future is purely based on AI only. So all the technologies purely depend on AI only. So how far it will be useful for the students? Because we are in rural background, so automatically our students should be cope up with the city students. That is my aim. So what are the new trend or what are the new area is coming up? So our students also it's possible to compete in the market. That is my scope. So every time I'm insisting the students, you do that, what are the new trends comes, how to practice them, and then what are the job opportunities there, you try to attend them. That is the purpose. We make that webinars in Sanskrit School of Engineering in terms of latest topics. Also, it's possible to, how far it will be applicable in this industry side. Also, we conducted before that webinar, 2 webinar will be conducted related to AI. One will be in Wipro Industries, they given that. Another will be in software industries. One more is US one person is given that. So 3 webinars already we given our students, and then other external participants. So it will be, it's what they given other people's, what he is giving is different, because he will be fully in terms of how it's possible to make that startup. That is the purpose I interested. So I am accepting to giving that AI, artificial intelligence, because startup, once you work in startup, you will feel you are the owner of the topic. That type of curiosity, that type of motivation, it will be in your mindset. That is the purpose we make that this type of seminars, webinars. This webinars is purely based on helpful for startup, or helpful for injecting that AI field, or helpful for what is that in career opportunities, how far it will be searching the careers in AI operations. So all the things he will be covered. Also, Sanskriti School of Engineering we started on 2015. It's a new engineering college, but we compete in what is that all the competitors, because we are not possible. We are only we are not only concentrate on teaching. We also concentrate on enhancing the skill set courses. We also provided in foreign faculties also deputed in our colleges. Every semester, two faculty will be deputed in our college. They are working in terms of languages. So we are whatever the 10 years or 15 years colleges what they're doing it. We also doing all the programs. Also, we started this college in 2015. First set is gone. We got that 90 above 95% placement. Second set also will push that in terms of above 90%. But second set, what is that advantage? I'm saying that whatever the projects we are giving in our students, they will doing that in-house projects. That will be what the recent topics that only we are allowing the doing that projects. So our people doing that AI, IoTs, embedded systems, and then automobile industries, and then whatever that in solar power, this and all they're doing that. All the people, most of the people, our students is published in journals, reputed journals. So these are the brief introduction about our college. Also, AI is most advanced topic. So it's possible to what is it AI? What is if my humble request all the participants, you up to end of the section you listen that what expert is saying that how far it will be useful for in your career opportunities, how far it will be in your academic activities, all the things you take a note, and then end of the section, it's possible to ask your worries. He will be a very nice person. Again, I am saying that he will be a very nice person. Use that opportunities provided by Sanskriti School of Engineering to make that in terms of fruitful manner. When the seminar is finished, you will be somewhat motivated. You will be somewhat initiated will be in your mind. That is our expectation of Sanskriti School of Engineering. So in terms of that will be sure Mr. Magesh will give all the inputs to you. I request all the participants up to end of the session you listen that what he saying that how far it what innovation he saying that what is it how it's possible to, in terms of career opportunities, all the things you make it useful for your future opportunity. Thank you. I welcome Mr. Magesh to.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable speech about this program.
Mm.
So next, our resource person and great speaker will give the this webinar on this artificial intelligence. Sir, good evening, sir, Mr. Mahesh Kumar, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Sir, you take section, sir.
Yeah. Thanks, Mr. Prasad Garu, for the warm welcome and introduction, and
Thank you,
thanks
sir.
for the invite, Mr. Senthil Garu.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so whatever the introduction you got about me, let me tell you which you guys don't know about me. As you know my name, I hails from a town called Kadri, which is 60 kilometers away from your Puttaparthi. So that's my native town. I studied there, I born there, and I settled in Hyderabad. So in the next 90 minutes, we are going to talk 6 key items or topics. So 6 AI applications, which essentially you are going to use on a daily basis. And few examples I want to give you, which are powered by artificial intelligence. So in general, different businesses, how they are using artificial intelligence for their businesses. And then we are going to have a little bit details about AI job marketplace and what are the skills required for AI job, how do you get started, then 7 life-changing habits to accelerate your AI job. This is where being a student, when you are trying to learn new technology, these are a set of unanswered questions which always bother in a career, right? So that's where the title of the session, if you look at, we are saying demystify. So yes, by the end of session, you are going to get all the things and all the unanswered questions. And I'll prefer to take all your questions at the end. So we'll have a dedicated time for your Q&A. So let's rock. So 6 AI applications. So the first example is a Gmail. So I'm sure everyone is using Gmail. So if you observe carefully, without our knowledge, all the emails are classified under each buckets. Now let's say one of your friend has tweeted in Twitter, or somebody has commented in your Facebook, then automatically that notification comes and that email sits social. Any mail related to promotions, it comes and sit under promotion. Sorry, correction. The previous one, it's a social, correct. Now it's a promotion. So any email which is a very specific email where you got from your friend or something, that comes and sits here. Don't you think that there is someone at the background who is working for you very smartly? So that's what we call, he's a basically agent, the smart agent. Now, apart from that, whenever you are trying to reply an email or when you are composing an email, without your knowledge, it will predict some statement. Now, let's say when you are typing hi, automatically you will be able to see how are you. Now, the second example, whenever when you do shopping in any, might be your Amazon or Snapdeal, whatever. When you're trying to buy one product, it's automatically recommend the relevant products to you. What are the customer rating, the product reviews, all the stuff. So that's again the smart agent at the background, which is known as a recommender system. Now, if you take Google Maps, now let's say you want to move from Puttaparthi to Kadri. So approximately how much time it will take by bus, by train, by road, and what is the distance between Puttaparthi to Kadri. So you'll get all the details. When you are moving there, in a real time, it is going to tell you how much time it is going to take you to reach that. So don't you think that there is a smart agent at the background who is helping for all your questions and answering all your queries? Now, the other best example is whether it's Ola or Uber. When you want to move from one place to place, let's say place X to place Y, when you're booking a cab, you are able to understand and identify how much time it is going to take, how much time your cab driver is going to reach you, and what is the fare cost, all the details. So apparently, if you look at sometimes, it's a demand timing. If it is a Friday, especially in the cities, it will come with 1.5x times, 2x times the cost. So it's very dynamically in a real time, the fare will change and automatically, if you have huge traffic, even it will recommend you to navigate from other way. Then nowadays, if you look at the young generation, especially between 8 to 14 years age group, these kids are heavily attached to these fancy toys, might be Alexa or Siri or Cornetto or Google now. My kid is around 8 years, so he is always used to play with these toys. He used to speak to this voice assistants and check, hey Alexa, what is the weather today? Is it going to rain or not? Based on that, he will decide whether to carry an umbrella. Apart from that, if you look at few of the mobiles, these brands with this model above are powered by artificial intelligence. So far, we were in assumption that when you say AI, it's only software, right? No, it's more than that. It's a platform, it's a hardware, it's an infrastructure. So that's where a few mobiles, if you look at, these are powered, where few features are embedded in the mobile. Now, if you look at what is the common in between all these products, might be your Gmail or online shopping product or a Google Map, smart mobiles, voice assistant, ride sharing apps. What is common? At the end, all these are known as a data product. What is that? Data product. And these all are created by using artificial intelligence. So in general, sometimes we'll call AI, sometimes we'll call artificial intelligence. So now if you look at the outside world is exponentially changing. That's why we always say that game is changing. If AI is not integral, you are no longer in the game. So the world, what we live is called VUCA. We as a volatile, you as a uncertainty, C as a complex, A as a ambiguous. That means disruption is everywhere, whether you talk technology, whether you talk politics, whether you talk economy, everywhere disruption is there. So 10 years back, if you look at, the world was so non-volatile, where you are able to predict. But now, at this juncture, you're not able to predict anything. Can you predict that in the next 6 months, which technology is going to come and which technology is going to go out? No, right? Even we can't even predict when this pandemic will be over. So that's what the reason why we call the world, what we live, is called VUCA. So as we are talking about the disruption, now I want you to quickly run through with some of the examples how people are disrupting with artificial intelligence. So this is called paper glass. We always know that when we are entering into a theater or a comedy club, we always need to pay certain amount as an entry. But these guys has come up with a model where your entry is absolutely free. How many times you laugh, for that you need to pay. Now let's say if I am laughing 10 times, I need to pay for that. That's where, if you see here on the right hand side, seat number 1 had a 40 laughs, for which you need to pay $12. So each laugh will cost you 0.30 cents, that is 100 cents is equals to $1. And maximum ticket is $24. Now when these guys are extreme, excuse me. Now they launched even pay per cry. You just imagine, for crying also you need to pay money. So here basically what they are using, one camera, one AI platform, and 2 algorithms. That's it. Whenever you laugh, it will detect and you will have a count. At the end, the bill will be done. You need to pay for that. And this example is from our backyard, Bengaluru. His name is Saad Nasser. He's one of the co-founder and chief technical officer of Ati Motors. So around 18 years, I believe. So Saad is trying to build autonomous electric cargo vehicle. See there, he's not even completed his graduation. He's one of the co-founder and chief technical officer, and he's trying to build autonomous electric cargo vehicle. When I say autonomous, there won't be any need of driver. You just type the location, it runs automatically. So you can see here, this is the prototype of the vehicle. And always when you talk about, when you think of shopping, Amazon is one of the key player in this marketplace. So we always get into the website, we'll pick what are the products we want, add to the cart, finally pay the bill, check out. After some days, you will get your parcel, right? So Amazon has come up with a new model, what they call is the anticipatory shipping model, where they are able to understand the buying pattern of a consumer without your knowledge. Just imagine a box will come and pick what are the products you want, remaining leave it. That means they collected huge amount of data about the consumers, and they are able to understand the pattern of buying of the consumer. Now let's say, you just imagine without your knowledge, you got one box, pick what are the products you want, remaining leave it. Whatever the items picked by you, you have to pay for that, remaining leave it. That's they call shop then ship to ship then shop. So 2014, Amazon has patented this model. It's called Amazon's anticipatory shipping model. Now I'm sure the majority of the people watch cricket. So in India, cricket is a religion. We always say that. So whenever you have a question on the decision given by umpire, either the fielding team or the batting team can review that decision, right? So when the third umpire is reviewing this decision, these are things you'll see on the screen. So now if you look at, even this one is, everything is using artificial intelligence. When a bowler is pitching the ball, they need to check whether the ball is pitching inline or not, right? And how the direction ball is moving, whether the ball is having contact with the wicket or not. So all this, everything is done using computer vision and few algorithms. And even when you are trying to see this, whether there is a contact of the ball. So usually this will happen when you have a caught behind, right? So whether there is a contact with the ball to bat or not. Even this is, everything is done using artificial intelligence. So these two techniques, they introduced by a company called Hawkeye sometime back. Very heavily we'll use computer vision and a few deep learning algorithms there. So his name is Abu Khader. So he's again a chief technical officer of one of the Silicon Valley company from US. It's called Glia Lab. So Abu Khader has developed a product which can detect breast cancer for all age groups at the most early stage. When you compare to the famous oncologist, this product will work more accurately. So this picture I took from one of his interview where the person sitting next opposite to Abu Khader was around 56 age, who is Google AI head. And one of the interesting question that gentleman was asking to Abu Khader was how come a student who is not even completed his graduation is able to solve world's biggest problem. Then the response from Abu Khader was, as I got the real problem, and luckily I got the healthcare specific data, and he learned everything. You say artificial intelligence, machine learning, computer vision, deep learning, everything he learned from YouTube at free of cost, and he's able to build a solution. That was a response from Abu Khader. So around 1.5 years back, Yashoda Hospitals, where they introduced robotic surgery in India for the first time. It's called a Da Vinci surgical system. Can you see here? So the patient is here, and with the robotic arms, where the surgeons will be sitting here, and from here they used to operate. Based on their actions, the robotic arms will move here and there. There is one more startup from Bangalore called Tanbo Imaging. So if you see here carefully, for the helmet, there is something called to vision, to see. So this instrument is developed by Tanbo Imaging, which means technically for the US Army is using this helmet, and technically Tanbo Imaging is giving eyes to US Army. And this instrument is the most advanced tactical imaging system in the world. And even this is part of advanced defense system. So what we call always Rafale, right? So that is, even this instrument is part of Rafale advanced system. And this innovation is from our Hyderabad. So one of my good friend called Ayappan has invented this. I'm sure everyone knows about coffee vending machine, right? Once you go there, just type whatever you want, whether you want a cappuccino or a coffee or a latte. Once you click that, in a few less than 1 minute, you'll get your coffee. Now, similarly, reimagine experience where you go to that and stand in front of the machine and order here. You want to have 2 plates of idli. Just order, pay, and less than 60 seconds from this hole, you will get a plate of 2 plates of idli with a delicious chutney and sambar with a nominal temperature. So this machine can produce 180 plates. And this kid name is called Tanmay Bakshi, who is the world's youngest IBM Watson programmer at the age of 12. So he works for IBM as well Google. And this example is from our backyard, Hyderabad. His name is Siddharth Pilli. So see his lifestyle. He's studying the 7th class. 3 days he goes to school. 3 days he goes to office. He's Asia's youngest data scientist at the age of 12 years approximately. And he stays in my area itself, my place called Manikonda. So altogether, if you look at the examples, few are related AI, few are related AI plus other combinations. So what we call is, altogether, we call it as the exponential technologies, in which AI, artificial intelligence, is your core, and surrounding are the platform or a hardware or infrastructure is your exponential technologies, what we call 3D printing, augmented reality, Internet of Things, robotics, cybersecurity. All this will become your exponential technologies. Now, let's talk about artificial intelligence. So in general, artificial intelligence is 3 kinds, or 3 types we can say, 3 types of AI. One, ANI, which is artificial narrow intelligence, which means specific to one area, which is specialized. Now let's say I'm pretty good at riding a bicycle, riding a car, playing chess, like that. Now in this, AI is pretty strong, so very, very well matured. So the second category, what we call is AGI, which is artificial general intelligence. When AI starts behaving and which is equivalent to the human level in terms of the intelligence, that is what we call AGI. So now we are here, if you talk in terms of the deployments. Now take example of any autonomous vehicle. Now let's say there is a vehicle built for US region. Now if you bring that vehicle and try to drive in Indian environment, it won't, because that is meant for only US region. And if you look at the steering, what we use is a different, what they use in US is a different. Other way around, we being a humans, we can drive car in India, we can drive car in US, we can drive car in Middle East. Based on the circumstances, whatever we have, we are able to drive. But technically, we can adapt very fast. When this is possible, that is called AGI. And the third category, what we call is ASI, which is artificial super intelligence, which is smarter than the humans in all perspectives. The best example would be Mr. Vasikaran invention, Chitty, the robot. So if you look at movie Robo and even Chudaku, the Robo Chitty, the kind of feats what they do, when technically that is possible, practically, that is what we call ASI, artificial super intelligence. But don't worry, it is going to take at least next coming 30-40 years. It's not that easy. So artificial intelligence is not a new technology, which is one of the oldest computer science application. And around 1964, a person called Dr. John McCarthy, who coined this word, hence he is known as the father of artificial intelligence. So altogether, if you look at AI is your broad spectrum. Under that, you have a lot of applications. Might be your machine learning, might be your deep learning. So in technically, when you say AI, the mimicking human intelligence, that is what basically we call a sense and response. Sometimes we'll have a sense, sometimes we'll have a response. So based on that, what we used to take actions. A technique which enables machine to mimic human behavior. That is what in general, the basic definition of artificial intelligence. And machine learning is basically when you are trying to apply statistical models. That is where we always talk about regression, clustering, all that. And deep learning is somehow over hijacked this machine learning now, as we are dealing more with the unstructured data, video analytics, all that stuff. It is basically a multi-layered neural network concept. Apart from this, you'll get even natural language processing, computer vision. Now, let's move to other topic. So I want to give you a quick insight how AI job marketplace is. So this was one of the powerful statement conducted by sometime back survey by a company. Basically, they used to do some surveys. 65% of students will work on jobs that do not exist today. See that? We are talking about a next generation jobs which do not exist right now. Probably a few are started and still a lot of new to explore. And the bad news is, 50% of today's jobs will be replaced by artificial intelligence, might be due to the automation, of course. So major of the manufacturing industries, if you look there, the assembly line jobs are replaced by robots. I'm not sure how many people know in the border, once you cross Anantapur on a highway, you have a Kia Motors, right? So in Kia, there are around 600 robots where it can assemble the Kia cars. Around 250 cars can assemble by robots. Around 600 robots are there in Kia. I'm not sure how many people know this. So that was a bad news. And again, the good news is 2.3 million, the new number of jobs AI is going to create, while eliminating 1.8 million, accounting for a net 2 million new jobs by 2025. So basic equation is 2.3 minus 1.8 plus 2 million, which is approximately 2.4 million, which is huge number of jobs. Even when you are trying to compare with the loss is 1.8. But if you see the opportunity here, it's huge. So that's why we always call the future is artificial intelligence in the software industry. Now let's go back to that statement. As I said in the beginning, 65% of students are going to work on jobs that do not exist. Now, with that, the new job roles by artificial intelligence, how it looks like. We are very familiar with the kind of designations like software engineer, senior software engineer, project manager, project lead, technical lead, delivery manager, CEO, CTO, right? Now, let's see. Chief AI officer, data preprocessor, data detective, data ethicist, data protector, data explorer. If you look at majority of the jobs are starting with data. So let me tell you honestly, in the reality, don't be an assumption that once you become a data scientist or AI engineer, you are going to write down big algorithms. No. In the reality, 80% of work is related to pre-processing, data pre-processing, and 20% is actual development. So when you say data pre-processing, now let's say you want to build an autonomous vehicle for Puttaparthi town. Now, when you want to build that solution, don't you think that you need to capture the roads in and around Puttaparthi, the signals, pedestrians, locations, everything? So for manual car, we'll attach a LiDAR with a cam, and we will manually run daytime as well, nighttime, to capture data. So once you capture the data, don't you think that you need to process the data? Somebody has to authenticate, yes, that this data is correct, all right? So that is what data pre-processing. So 80% of jobs are related to only data pre-processing. That's why we are saying data pre-processor, data detective, data explorer, data protector, data ethicist, AI assisted technician, newsbot editor, genetics yield consultant, 3D print product designer, cyber security analyst, data farmer. One second, I'll go next. And apart from that, in autonomous driving, when you say autonomous, the won't require of driver. You just imagine in your future, once you get into the car, you won't see steering, you don't see driver. Just get in, type the location where you want to go, that's it, relax. So in this autonomous driving space, there is around 20 plus new job roles, which we never had in the past. Have you had any time autonomous vehicle trainer, autonomous vehicle engineer, autonomous Cascadia test engineer, aeronautical autonomy engineer, right? So these are all new jobs. And simulation software engineer, which is quantum AI. So it's more related to the infrastructure and hardware specific job. Even tensor compiler engineer, quantum optics scientist, digital design engineer, data center technologist. So your basic CPUs, what we call the tower, central processing units, those are already dead. When you are trying to process huge amount of data, your traditional hardware won't survive, right? So that's where you need GPUs, graphical processing units. Now even TPU, tensor processing units. So facial recognition developer, and even natural language processing. Now, even if you look at, I'm sure everyone is having a smart mobiles. You are able to interact with your mobile in your in your local language, right? Where you are able to translate, Google Translate. So that stuff is nothing but natural language processing. You see there is a job for even Siri, watch OS engineer, performance engineer. When I say Siri, the guys who are using Apple phones, in that, the assistant is Siri. See that? And chatbot programmer. Now, let's see who are going to give you jobs. So in general, there are 4 types of different startups who are going to hire you. One is the robotic startups, autonomous vehicle startups, sensor AI startups, and space intelligence startups. For space also, you require a lot of AI programming. Now, apart from this piece we covered already. So, on average in India, we got more than 30,000 plus startups are there. So, and average, if you look at 50% belongs to software. So, approximately you can say 15,000 software startups are there, in which at least 5,000, for my knowledge, more than 5,000 startups are there who are using AI and exponential technologies. And apart from that, you have a big ironic brands like IBM, Siemens, Shell, Honeywell, ABB, and other side of the story, even defense cluster. Very widely, Indian government is using AI, whether you say Army, whether you say Navy, whether you say Air Force, everyone directly, indirectly, they are using artificial intelligence for their core customer business operations. And apart from that, even investor venture capitalists. So these are the persons who usually invest in software startup companies. Even nowadays, this venture capitalists also recruiting AI engineers. So to name few, Axelar, Falconex, Vertex, Pi. So these are one of the top industrial venture capitalists in India as well, US. So these are the different places where you are going to get a jobs. Now, what are the skills required to get AI job? So the programming language we use is Python. This is an open source programming language, and the techniques you should be familiar. At least these are the minimum techniques you need to learn to get an AI job. So clustering, regression, classification, text mining, scoring, ensemble model building, model maintenance. In deep learning, especially, you should be very familiar with the convolutional neural networks, recurrent neural networks, long short-term memory. These are the basically models in deep learning, very popular. At least to start with, these are the minimum. Apart from this, you have some more, but this is important. And chatbot creation, maintenance, all that stuff. So these are the core skills. With my experience, I saw from zero to hero, the time will take minimum 3 months to 6 months max, based on your passion, time, and commitment. I saw a lot of people, in my experience, who transform from zero to hero. Now, so the question is, how do you get started? So whether you are a first year student, second year student, third year student, might be a computer student or non-computer science, you are a mathematics student or a commerce student or a science student. Let me tell you honestly, AI is for all. Let me repeat again, AI is for all. AI is not only for the computer science students or computer science professionals. AI is for all the industries. You name the industry, everyone AI is using AI. Whether it's a healthcare, manufacturing, oil and gas, energy, finance, government institutions, retail, any industry. If you are not using AI, that's it. You will be out of game. Now, coming back, how do you get started being a student? Now you are here. So how is that leapfrog process looks like? So try to form a team of 5 to 7 people as a team. So make sure that you should have a different combination. So don't be restrict yourself to have only from one department. So we are electronics guys, let's have only ECE, let's have only computer science. No. Try to have a combination from all the different domains. Then once that is done, so as such there is no criteria when you want to form your team. So only two things you have to look at the persons. One is energy levels. Second one is the passion. That's it. Rest will, the technology, subjects, everything will come automatically. So these are the two things. And then learn basic Python. So you need to start with the basic foundational commands. As we said, now let's say your team size is 7. Each member is going to learn 20 commands. So as a team, you are going to learn 140 foundational commands. Like that, you need to start. And as there is, I don't know why you guys restrict always being a student. In your academic, you have a projects, right? So why the damn you need to do always when you go to the 4th year? Why can't you start right now? Maybe you are at first year, start doing a project. So technically, you have to do some project using AI. Like that, when you reaches your final year, let's say you have completed 6 projects. Just imagine, when you keep all the 6 projects in your resume, you will be qualified. So don't restrict yourself as I need to do one mini project, I need to do one final project. There is no limit. You want to do 10, 15, do it. Start right away. Don't wait for till 4th year. And here, when we say project, you have to do one real life project. Don't repeat, what you guys do. Unfortunately, I know in majority of the cases, I'm not saying all the students, but trust me, majority of the students, they will take the old documentation, old project, simply they will change the name, roll number, year, college name. That's it. Don't do that. So you have to do one real life project. Here, you need to answer only one question. What is the problem you are trying to solve? So meaning, let me frame the question in another way. What do you see which others don't see? Abu Khadr saw that problem. That's where he is building that solution. Saad Nasser saw that problem. He is able to build that solution. That's where you need to define seeing that unseen. What do you see which others don't see? Then automatically you are good to start your project. So while doing this project, you need to create reputation about your project. So always, whatever the code written by you, as it is open source, so create a repository in GitHub, start pushing all your code here. Sometimes automatically the recruiters, the technical team people will see and they will inform to the recruiters. All of a sudden you will get a call from the recruiters. And Medium is a one more very good website across the globe where real-time practitioners used to write blogs here. So write down, create some blogs on your subject, on your project, start putting the blogs in this. And always participate in these platforms, Stack Overflow, Quora. So because you need to create repetition about your project, right? And start trying to build a prototype in might be 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. So don't use for the sake of technology. So it's always the mindset you need to adapt business forward, technology backward. Now, so we are almost coming to end of the session. This would be the last topic. So we spoke how is the market, we spoke what are the skills required, we spoke how to get started. Now, how do you make yourself as a differentiator when you compare to the others? That's where you need to adapt 7 life-changing habits. When I say habit, it would be part of your life on a daily basis or a weekly basis. The way how you brush every day. That way you need to adapt this, which will accelerate your AI job. So learn one AI technique. That way, every 2 weeks, if you learn, by 3 months, you are able to complete AI, right? The second one, you need to write down a blog monthly once. And always, every month, minimum you should write down 1 blog. And always try to participate hackathon. Monthly, minimum 2 hackathons you should attend. So don't worry that we are at a remote place, we are staying away from the city. Don't say that. Now the world is big, pandemic is going, everything is online now. So nowadays everything, even if you look at major of the hackathons are running online. So very much, if you have a good internet, with the way how you are attending the session, similarly the way you can attend hackathons. So this is where you will learn a lot of things. Maybe in the beginning, you are not able to catch the speed. Probably going forward slowly, I'm sure you will learn. And you guys are pretty strong in terms of the technical wise. The other way around, what you need to focus is the way, because major of the focus you are giving for the subject. Of course, that is important, but the other side of the story, you need to increase your communication. So try to join the Toastmasters Club, which will give you a platform to enhance your communication. And always try to watch applied AI videos on YouTube on a weekly basis. When I say applied AI, artificial intelligence use cases in manufacturing, artificial intelligence uses in energy sector, like that. And participate always in a Stack Overflow. And the final habit is spend at least every day 1 hour in a GitHub, so that you are able to see and understand how people are doing different projects, what are the different projects developed by across the globe. Because if you look at GitHub, this is the one repository across the globe. So nothing is a mistake, there is a no win, no fail, there is only a make. So always try to integrate your, I'm sure you have some expertise, not only computers, there are a lot of industries are there, right? So always try to integrate your AI plus your expertise. That's where you need to integrate both. So welcome to the brave new world. So even you can go to my YouTube channel, Mahesh Kumar CV. You can see a lot of interviews on my name. Still, you want to understand, go to LinkedIn. There is my name. Under my profile, go to articles. There you can see not less than 50 plus blogs on my name. Now, let's say you want to understand AI uses in financial industry or insurance. Go to this blog. You want to understand AI use cases in defense industry, agriculture, banking, telecom, manufacturing, government services and operations, energy, oil and gas, retail. Like this, you have a huge stuff. It's free of cost. You go there, just you can read it. So to quickly conclude, AI is a strategic game changer in the marketplace. AI explosion has a begun. Start now, ride the wave. And guys, this month 27 and 28, we are doing the India's first virtual student AI conference on 27, 28, which is online. You can see there is a lot of eminent speakers are coming. You have a 30-minute session on Python, 30-minute session on machine learning by Dr. Venu, one more session on deep learning by Radhakrishna, who is a professor from NIT Warangal. Then you have a Lav Kumar session on natural language processing, and my session on computer vision, and Shailesh, who is AI head for Geo Hyderabad. So he's going to talk on AI thinking. Then you have a speaker session on chatbot. You have a speaker session on how to become a data scientist by Usha Jagannathan. And as I said, see there, he is a Siddharth Pilli, Asia's youngest data scientist at the age of 12. He's going to share his success story. And Prashant, who is my partner, is going to address on exponential technologies. So these are around 10 plus other 2 sessions. Then you have a panel discussions, why AI reskilling is important, how to do academic project using AI, how to get prepared for hackathon, and is AI going to create jobs, opportunities for internships for AI, how to adapt AI effectively in academic institutions. And apart from that, I'm not sure how many people have a subject of data warehousing. So go back to your basics, see the definition of data warehouse. That definition is given by W.H. Inman or Bill Inman, who is known as the father of data warehousing, who is a renowned computer scientist from USA. He's also coming to AI Fest. He's addressing the guest keynote for day 2, and Dr. Srinivas as well. And apart from that, you have a high pitch competition. Now let's say you have some crazy product on AI, you are able to present your AI in AI project in AI Fest. So there is a very nominal cost involved, but I'm sure for 2 days you are going to enjoy. So almost 40 plus news eminent speakers are coming from different industries. And you can go to www.ai-fest. You can register there. And thanks to Sanskriti School of Engineering for the invite. And there were around 95 students, I believe, who are attending the CI Fest. So now it's time for your Q&A. I'm happy to answer your questions. Maybe even you can type in the chat room.
I request a participant to put that questions in chat box because he is more number of project innovation is done. So anything students related projects, anything in your career opportunities, kindly ask the suggestions. It's not a question section, so you ask the suggestions. Because utilize the opportunities provided by experts. Put the chat box, open the chat box, you open your questions.
Okay, there you go. We got a questions now. Hello sir, may I know what is the contribution of AI to ROS? What do you mean by ROS? Surya, you need to type what do you mean by ROS? May I know what is the contribution of AI to ROS? I never heard what is ROS. Can you give that acronym? What is that ROS stands for? Type in the chat room. Robotic operations, operating systems. Okay. See, in general, if you look at robotics, very heavily, without AI, there is no proper robotics. I request you to go to one of the top robotics firm in the globe, which is Boston Dynamics. They took around 16 years. In the research, if you look at now the kind of robots they created, huge. There are almost 10 different types of robots are there now. So because when a robot arm, when it is able to sense and respond, that everything programming is completely involved AI. I'm not saying that without AI also you can do that, but if you look at the accuracy level, if you use AI, that would be a more. Now when you talk about, I took one example of Kia Motors, right, where you have 600 robots where they are assembling the parts of Kia car. Don't you think that it's explicitly programming? Instead of doing all the manual activities by humans, it is replaced with robotics. So heavily AI is involved. When you talk about the programming, yes, it is purely AI. So to understand the object, pick or not pick, so all that, it will be part of the, yeah, exactly, like a welding, sheet metal forming, everything that comes under that. What about mechanical applications? Lavesh Kumar. Well, in mechanical also very heavily we are using. So now, in broadly, if you look at, we call consumer AI, we call conventional AI, and we call industrial AI. When you say industrial AI, now let's say oil and gas, there will be huge rigs to understand where the crude is, right? And you need to dig until you get the crude. How about having a platform where accurately it can predict, excuse me, it can predict in this place around 500 feet down, you'll get. So that kind of predictions can be done. And coming to the assets of any manufacturing industry. Now let's say I have 10 different machines. For the last 5 years, I'm using that. Now, if we have the data of this 5 years machines of the breakdown, where we can create a model, and for the next 5 years, we can predict what will be the breakdown of this 5 years machines will look like. Based on that, the management can take a more decisions, right? So at the end of the day, remember, data is the key here. That's why we call data is the new oil. If the data is not good, there is nothing. So that's why always AI is something like a data junk in, junk out. So data is the key here. AI is involved. Okay, let me go back to the question. Question by Maruti. Along with Python, which programming language is necessary in AI? Maruti, in Python, programming language is Python. When it comes to the machine learning, you will be undergoing through with a lot of techniques, clustering, regression, classification. These are the three. But under that, again, if you look at machine learning is divided into three: supervised machine learning, unsupervised machine learning, reinforcement learning, deep learning. You have different methods. So while this process, based on the techniques, you will be using different libraries. We got a NumPy, we got a SciPy. Like this, more than 15 libraries you are going to reuse. So you don't require any other programming language except Python. And trust me, Python is a fun. The way how you write English, it's a similar that manner. Can you suggest any books to refer? Amarnath, instead of books, I'll prefer to suggest you NPTEL. There are few good courses in NPTEL, and the other way around, Coursera is the one good website. Then you have one Stanford University CS 223 course, which is free of cost, and there is one more course in Coursera. Search for deep learning course. Andrew. So that's the one of the powerful course in a deep learning by Andrew. So that's enough. Coursera, EduX, edX, EDX. So Baisani Rohini, is Python is enough to beginners in AI? Yes. So to start with Python, obviously, even while you go forward also, Python will be your core. Under that, you will be using a lot of machine learning techniques, deep learning techniques, computer vision, and using different algorithms. Yeah, for computer vision, Surya, obviously from the traditional way, it is more, though you, unfortunately, you don't have a ready-made library for computer vision applications, because we do, we have our own product which is into sports, where we use very heavily computer vision techniques. So here, the key thing is pose estimation, action recognition. Now let's say there are two boxers, boxer A, boxer B. Now when a boxer A hits, this is called job. You got a different types of jobs: uppercut, left uppercut, shield. Now let's say I want to understand how many punches has done by player A to B, B to A, and what is the speed of each punch. So to all this, you need to understand first, you need to recognize the punch, right, in the moving. So that's where here the key is pose estimation, action recognition. For that, again, you need to go back to your deep learning. You need to build the model. You need to train your model using convolutional neural networks and LSTM. So unfortunately, there is no ready-made libraries are there for computer vision, because we are very heavily work with closely Olympics team. So we do work with this one, boxing, shield. Sorry, do you know fencing? There is a game called fencing. It's something like a sword fight. So that sword, which is very sleeky. So to detect that, it is not that easy. So there are a lot of challenges in that area. Syed, how hackathon takes place in AI? See, now if you look at either government or Niti Aayog, and nowadays for every month there is some hackathons are happening across the globe. Now let's say for COVID and this pandemic, how can you prevent AI? maybe we are not able to build a solution completely for the cure, but for the precautions, yes. You can, now if you see that whether the people are wearing mask or not, using some drone, whether people are there or not, the Tamil Nadu government has used this, even China government. So all this is happening with the AI only, right? So they will give you some challenge and they will give you accurate data, maybe some kind of a challenge. They will ask you to break in 1 day, 2 day at a time. That is what hackathon is all about. Okay, in the registration, if you look at, there is a link shared by Senthil Kumar, Dr. Senthil Kumar sir. So usually the conference, if you go to website, there is around 499 would be charged. But if you use this link, you'll get it for only 300. That is where the school of, Sanskriti School of Engineering students are getting benefited with this. Just imagine 2 days conference, you will get it for 300 rupees. Is AI and machine learning are the same? No. Nandu Reddy. See, AI is the core application, which is one of the computer science application. Underneath, you will get a machine learning. Underneath, you will get deep learning. But at the end, AI is your umbrella. Under that, you have a different applications. Machine learning is a one, computer vision is a one, NLP is a one, deep learning is a one. Arvind Raj, what about the scope of students who know to interface both mechanical and electronic system automation? So this is what I said. See, AI is for all. This is what the reason I'm saying. When you're talking about the mechanical, now let's say because when it comes to the nuts and bolts of the mechanical parts, you have that domain. Now, what if you learn AI, the kind of program, the kind of a model which you are going to build, I cannot build that because I don't have that domain knowledge, right? Basically, my education is into completely computers. So that was the reason why I'm saying it is open for all. Now, let's say as we going back to the 5 years machines example. So technically, I know what is that machine is generating the data. But more than that, you will understand the kind of data, what is that value we can create using that data. Maybe I can just take that 5 years data, blindly I can create a model for the next 5 years. But if you create that model, that would be different. Is YouTube involved AI? Yes, Shiva. If you observe in AI, in YouTube, you'll be playing 4 or 5 videos. And after that, automatically, without your knowledge, on the right hand side, if you see, all that videos are related to your past search. That system will very fast, it learns and it recommends you. That's what recommender system. Maruti, example for artificial superintelligence is a Vasikar, not Vasikar invention, Chitti, the robot. So like give one example for artificial general intelligence. Okay, see that is what I'm saying. So now we are here. So AGI is to be matured. Now humans, we have that fast ability to adapt for the different circumstances. Where I can drive vehicle here, I can drive vehicle in US, I can drive vehicle anywhere in the country. But if you bring that autonomous vehicle, it cannot drive specific to the location which it is developed. When that is possible, that is what we call AGI. So when AI starts behaving equal to the human level, that is what we call AGI. Question from Sai. I have started Python learning in Coursera and learned basics of Python. Is it required to learn data structures and applications of data structures? See, as such, there is no mandate that you should be familiar with data structures, all that stuff. But at the core, when you talk about the searching, hashing, so everything you can relate it to data structures. So it's good to have that, but it's optional, not a mandate. See that Python, all that stuff, that is the basics. And after that, you need to move to the next level, Sai. You need to learn machine learning techniques, you need to learn deep learning. Apart from that, even you need a computer vision as well. what type of application recently used? Shiva, we have already given a lot of example. Your question is too generic. How AI internships involved? So nowadays, if you go and search in Google, you will see ample of internships. Even on average, for every quarter, we used to give 15 to 20 internships for the students. Nowadays, everyone preferred Python. Why there is not using Java and .NET languages? See, the one advantage with Python is it's too friendly, flexy. Of course, Java is also that, but this is open source. Govardhan Reddy, is AI relevant with ECE? Govardhan, as we already answered this question, it is open for all. The same question again. Maruti, did AI has integrated development environment? Yes, very much. See, when you are trying to build a solution with AI and drones, drone is a different, AI model is a different, right? So with the drone, you can capture the data. Once you get the data, you can build the model, you can create insights on that. So yes, technically, integrated development environment is possible. Syed, what is the recent inventory which is based on AI? You mean to say invention? A lot of things are there, boss. So healthcare, even the kind of examples which I given, that is huge. Okay, that's good. I can see a lot of registrations are pouring now. Seems you guys are leveraging the 300 benefit. Okay, good. Okay, Senthil sir, we are done. Almost we are done with all questions.
2 minutes, sir. Anybody asking that questions related to the innovations or startups, this and all? Because again, I'm saying that he is well versed in startup, this and all. Please use the opportunities because we arranged for students' benefit only. This seminar is mainly focused on injecting that what are the recent trends. It's not possible to learn all the things. It's possible to get that ideas. How to possible to touch these areas. What are the importance that and all he covered. Because 1 hour it's not possible to finish EA. He will be injecting that this AI scope, AI careers, and then what are the things in AI. So utilize this opportunity. If anything basic questions, it's possible to ask. Means ask. 2 minutes. I'll give the time. After that, we'll wind up the sections. Chat box, we put them.
So even if you go to Google, you can't get this kind of information all together in one place. This is my experience, where with all, especially these things, if you look at one of the book I'm writing, just imagine 70 pages and all the images you'll have like this. The entire book is 70 images, 70 pages. It's visual book. This is the one page of that book. These are all my experience. This is not copy pasted from Google. It's all my experience.
Okay, I think no questions. Please, I'll share the email ID for the resource person. Anything information means you all that questions, you all that startup this and all. I request Mr. Hari Krishna give that vote of thanks.
Yes, sir. So, good evening, all. On behalf of Sanskriti School of Engineering, I take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks for the webinar on Demystify Artificial Intelligence and Career Opportunities organized by our institute. At the outset, I thank our resource person, Mr. Magesh Kumar Garu, co-founder and chief AI officer, Orbit Shifter, Hyderabad. We are really enlightened with your knowledge, sir, and presence. Thank you, sir. We are thankful to our Honorable Chairman, Mr. Vijay Bhaskar Reddy Garu, for his motivation and support. I would like to thank our principal, sir, for his enthusiastic support. A special thanks to the organizing committees and HODs of CAC and EEE department and other faculty members. Our heartfelt thanks to all the participants from various institutions. Once again, thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Sir, if possible, you provide that mail in this chat box, sir. Mail contact.
Yeah.
That's better because they will contact with you. Some startup this and all. Otherwise, I will transfer, no problem.
Yeah, so for the AI first one, I'm giving it already.
Okay.
This one, anyhow, I'm given my this one, right? LinkedIn email. So,
Okay. LinkedIn is best.
yeah, that is the best way people can connect. So
Okay, no
thanks,
problem.
Senthil sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Convey
Thank you,
my
sir.
convey my best wishes and thanks to my good friend, your chairman Vijay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you
Thanks
for
a lot.
accepting your invitation. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So good luck, guys.
Thank you, sir.